Hi, Mustafa.
Hi, good
How are you?
afternoon.
Very good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's great.
Shall we get started with our interview?
Yes, we can.
Good. Can you introduce about yourself?
So myself, I'm Sheikh Mustafa and I'm from Guntur. I have completed my graduation in the year of 2019. So from Chalapti Institute of Technology with a background of ECE. And coming to my work experience, I have 3 years of experience in the DevOps domain and I'm working for a TCS from the last 3 years.
Okay. Currently, you are working for which project?
So I'm working for it is a completely e-commerce project and we are following the microservices architecture. And previously it is monolithic and we completely converted that into the microservices.
Okay. So which technologies are there in that project?
So we are using Git as the source code management and Jenkins as a CI/CD and Docker for containerization and Kubernetes and also Ansible.
Which,
And for
what
the Terraform.
Yeah. I'm asking what technology based project it is.
So basically it is completely e-commerce project. So yes.
No, I'm asking about is it Java based or Python or .NET? What kind of technology they used for that project?
So they are using Java. For the
Java.
yes.
Okay. Good. What are your roles and responsibilities in the current project?
So my roles and responsibilities is, first of all, we have to create the environments. I mean, we have to create the infrastructure for every environment. Like we have to create the environment, infrastructure for dev environment, testing and production servers. And after that, we have to do the deployments. Basically, developer will write the code and we have to write the Docker files for the entire codes and we have to deploy that. And we use Docker Hub for storing the images. And also we are using the Ansible for downloading or for installing the multiple dependencies on the host machines at a time. And we use CI/CD pipelines for automating the entire things.
Okay. What are the challenges you have faced in your current project?
So basically, while deploying, we are facing some issues like sometimes the deployment may get failures. So in that particular situation, so we have to follow the branch strategies. So in my scenario, like the code is working on the developer's end, but it is not working on the production side. So there we found the bug. So developers will fix the bug, but we have to provide the branching strategies to them.
What is branching strategy you are following in your current project?
So in my project, first of all, we have to write the code which is used to fix the bug in production servers. If the bug is cleared and the production server, if the application is working fine, we have to clone that or we have to use the PRs from production to staging. And if the staging is also fixed, and we have to give the PR to the main developers branch, main or master branch.
Okay, so production deployment will happen from which branch?
So it will happen from the main or master branch.
Main or master?
Yes.
Which one you are using in the project?
So we are using main branch.
Main branch.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the difference between main branch and master branch?
So basically, like whenever we create the repository in GitHub, by default, we have the main branch while we are selecting the README file. So if you are not selecting any README or any text files, so by default, master branch will get created in the GitHub. So based on that, we will push the code from central to local. Sorry, local to central.
Which one? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Assume that I have Git client in my system. I forgot my password. So I want to update the password in the Git client. How do we do that?
So are you asking about local machine or in server?
Local.
So in local, if we forgot our password, we can directly generate a token from the GitHub. So it will generate the token. So we can use that.
Okay. How can you rate yourself in Linux out of 5?
So I can rate a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay. Yes. Which Linux version is used in your project?
So in my projects, we are using Amazon Linux and Ubuntu.
Okay. What is the difference between them?
So basically, Linux is the basic operating system for both, but here the flavor is different. That means a basic commands will get different. So in Amazon Linux, we are using M to install any package or to update. but in Ubuntu, we have to use apt. And in Amazon Linux, some default packages will get installed like wget or curl. These type of packages will automatically gets installed, but in Ubuntu, we have to install that manually.
Okay. What is the difference between wget and curl commands?
Wget is used to download the links from the internet, and curl will also download, and it will also checks the network connection, whether it was a connection properly established or not.
Mhm. What is awk command in Linux?
So AWK is nothing but Aho Weinberger Kenigan. So basically this command is used to text files. It is used to search for the specific patterns in the input and the performance operatings of the machine lines or matching lines.
Mhm.
So here the command we simply use as AWK, and within the single column forward bracket, we can use print and the dollar line name. So suppose if you want to get the second word of the every line, we can use $2. So it will print the every second word in the file in every line.
Okay. How do you check free space available in the Linux machine?
So we have multiple commands here. We can either use df space -h or du space sh space -sh and the directory or path.
Mhm. What is a group in the Linux?
So basically group is used to add the multiple users at a time, so that multiple users can access the files while we are adding the users into the group.
Okay. Can we check which users are belongs to particular group?
Yes, we can. We can use get end command.
Okay. Good. Yeah, fine. What is quality profile in the Sonar?
So basically, SonarQube is a popular platform that checking the code quality and a continuous inspection of the code quality. Here we can create our custom quality profiles by selecting the rules which we want to include. Either we can one of the predefined quality profiles that are available in the SonarQube. When the project is analyzed, so the rules defined in its quality profile are used to evaluate the code and regenerate a report of the code quality.
Okay.
By using this, we can found the code such as bugs, security vulnerabilities, and small code smells.
Suppose my code quality gate is failed, then
Okay.
what you will do?
So first of all, we have to check through the SonarQube. And if we found any bugs, we have to report that. If it is a developer side bug, we will raise a ticket to the developers so that they can perform the actions according to the bug.
Mhm. You told that you are using Jenkins CI/CD, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is master and slave in the Jenkins?
So basically, master is the responsible for managing all the slave instances. Let us assume we have 100 builds in our master server. If we build all the 100 jobs in master server, there might be chances to get the performance issues for the instance, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we are using this slavery mode. So that can be useful to build or run the jobs or any another tasks. The main advantage of this master slave concept is Jenkins is to distribute the workload to the slaves. So the slaves can share the work from the masters, and master is going to assign the jobs to the slaves.
If a master node is failed, then what will happen?
If the master node is failed, like first of all, we have to check why it is getting failed. We have to check whether the connection is perfect or not, or any volume, volume is extended or not. So first of all, we have to check. If the master is failed, then uh, it is not possible to build the jobs from the console.
Mhm.
Yes, to prevent that, we have to take the backups.
Suppose assume that there are 10 jobs available in my Jenkins master. Suddenly master went down. Is there any possibility to run the jobs?
Yes, it is possible to run the jobs.
How?
Sorry, come again, please.
How to run that? Master is down. Master is not responding. Then how we can
Okay.
run the jobs? How jobs will execute?
So if the jobs are we can still access the jobs in the server. We have the default path in the Jenkins, which is where library Jenkins. If you go to that, we found the jobs. We can take the backup from the existing server. I can take the volume. So that volume I will give, I will associate that volume to the new instance. So the new instance will have all the backup to the new instance. So I will connect to the Jenkins. I will set up the Jenkins in the new instance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen and can you write Jenkins pipeline?
Sure. Is that scripted or declarative?
It's declarative.
It's declarative. Cool. Yes. I hope my screen is visible to you, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Thank you. Here I am not following the any indentation because this is
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So this is the basic pipeline to print a line.
Right. So what are the stages available in your project pipeline?
So in my stage, like in my project, some stages are available. That is, first one is code, which is to get the source code from the GitHub or Bitbucket. And the second one is we have to build that. So the second step is build, and third step is testing. Unit test will be done. And the fourth step is deploy on the pre-production servers. And the fourth step is Selenium, which we use it to test the entire code. And fifth one is we can directly deploy that code into the production servers. So these are the steps that are available in my project.
Okay. Can you write one more stage in the pipeline?
Sure. I think here I missed one more product. Yes, it's fine now.
Okay. Now, suppose if I give same name for the two stages in the pipeline, then what will happen?
It will not accept.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What will happen when I do that?
So
Suppose
when we do that, yes, the build will get failed. So we will get an error. The stage name is already exist or something. I'm not sure much the correct the error, but the error will raise. The build will get failed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Suppose if first stage is failed, when I execute my job, first stage got failed, then what will happen to the second stage?
So it depends on the configuration that we are doing. If you are using the post build actions, so in the post build actions, we have multiple options like success, failure, and always. If you are using always, even if the above steps, which gets either success or failure, automatically this will get executed. If we use failure, if the above job gets failure, then only at that particular situation, this job will get executed. So it depends upon the configuration of the pipeline.
Suppose let's take a scenario. Even if the first stage is failed, I don't want to stop my job. I want to continue the remaining stages in the pipeline. How do you configure that?
So we can use the post build actions by using always.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the plugins that you used in the Jenkins?
So we use a thin backup for taking the backups, and also deploy to container for deploying the application into the Tomcat web servers, and also uh, authentication for creating the users and giving them access. So we are using the role-based authentication plugins. And for the storage, I mean artifact storages, we use Nexus. So we have to download that package as well.
Mhm.
Yes. And publish over SSH, like these type of plugins we are using.
Right. I have two jobs. When I trigger one job, that job should trigger another job. How do you configure that?
So in this particular case, we can use there is an option which is in the Jenkins dashboard, like a build after other projects are built. So if we select that, we will get the list of the jobs.
One second. I don't want to use that UI option. I want to manage that completely from the one job to another job directly.
Okay. So can we use pipeline in this phase?
Yeah. How do you write that configuration?
Okay. So here we have to use the.
Yeah. Assume that stage one available in one pipeline, stage two available in another pipeline.
Okay.
These are two different pipelines. So assume that one is a CI job, another one is CD job. When the
Okay.
CI job execution completed, I want to trigger CD job from the CI itself.
Okay. So I got the scenario, but I think I'm not much sure about this thing. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Next one. You told that you are using Ansible, right? Can you
Yes.
write the Ansible playbook?
Ansible Blue. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So any scenario, any specific scenario.
Yeah, you can take anything. Just install one Git client software in your machine.
Okay. Triple hyphen. So basically every playbook will start with the triple hyphen because we are using AML syntax. And hyphen hosts. Here is the group name. I will usually take dev and user Ansible. Suppose if I want to install Git, here is the description. Here is the playbook to install the Git on remote servers.
What is become yes?
Become yes. Basically, we are using here Ansible user. So Ansible, if you want to install Git in root user, we can directly use the command install git -y. But if you are using the non-root user, suppose it may be either EC2 or Ansible, we have to provide sudo, right? So without providing that sudo, we can use become yes. So it will act as a root user.
Okay. In your project where you used Ansible, can you explain a scenario?
Yes, basically like in the environments, in dev environments or QA environments, we have multiple servers. Suppose if developers wants to clone the source code from the Git, they need Git to install. So without Git, it is not possible to clone, right? So in that particular situation, we have hundreds of servers. It is not possible to install Git manually on that 100 servers. So that we can configure the systems by writing the playbook. I can write my playbook in my system, and if I execute here, automatically it will get installed onto the host machines, like a dev environments.
Okay. I want to copy files from one server to another server. How
Okay.
do you do it?
So I can say simply write a playbook, or I can use the inventories. So if you want to write a playbook, it will start from the triple hyphen hosts.
Okay. Suppose if I want to copy by using a playbook, will it copy directly or you need to do any setting for that?
No, settings is not necessary. We can directly copy the files.
Really?
Yes. So we use
how one machine can access another machine directly? Now Ansible, assume that Ansible is available in one machine and there is another machine is available. From one machine, I want to copy to another machine. So you are using SSH connection.
Okay, yeah.
That machine will have security with the key pairs, right? How do you do that?
So here we have to provide some configurations, which is in Ansible configuration file. We have to make some changes. First of all, we have to uncomment the inventory. And so in every server, we have to add the user, any user, it may be either Ansible or something. So we have to provide the password to them, and we need to generate a key in the master server. And we need to copy that key from master to any another slave so that it will automatically copies when we write the playbook.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Can you explain about Docker?
Docker. So basically, Docker is a containerization tool which we use it to create the containers. Containers are nothing but a virtual machine, which does not have any operating system. So Docker is used to create the applications, deploy the applications.
Okay. Can you explain Docker file?
So yes, Docker file, basically it is a text file which contains some set of instructions, which is used to build the images automatically. And it contains some components, which is from and run, copy. So these kind of components we have in the Docker file.
Okay. What is the difference between run and CMD in the Docker?
So run is used to execute the commands while we build the image, and command is used to execute the commands while we run the image.
Okay. What is a pod?
Pod. A pod is nothing but a single instance in a cluster, or simply we can say it as a pod is the smallest and the simplest unit in the Kubernetes object model. It represents a single instance of a running processor in the cluster. Pods are basic builds of the running applications in the Kubernetes cluster, and they provide the convenient way to deploy and manage the containers. And Kubernetes automatically manage the life cycles of pods and their components.
Okay. Can you write a pod manifest?
Pod manifest. I'm not much sure about the pod manifest.
Okay. How do you create pods in the project?
So we can create the pods within the within the cluster. So once we deploy the pod into the cluster, it will automatically available into the slave servers. Yes, it contains one or more containers and storage resources and also unique network identities.
Okay.
It will communicate with the another pods also.
What is stateful set in the Kubernetes? Where do you use that?
Yes, stateful set is used for the managing the deployments and scaling it for the stateful applications.
We already have deployment, right? Then what is the purpose of going for stateful set?
But when we compare it with the deployment is used to manage the deployments and scaling for the stateless applications. But if you want the stateful applications, we have to use the stateful.
Okay. Okay, good. Let's move on to AWS.
Okay.
I lost the PEM file of my EC2.
Okay.
Can we connect to that?
Yes, we can. So basically, we have a lot of options. If we don't have any PEM file, it is not possible to connect with the terminal. We can directly connect to the Chrome. And once we connect it to that, we can generate a key inside the instance, which is using SSH-keygen. So it will generate the two files, which is RSA pub and IDRSA. IDRSA public means it is the public key, and IDRSA is nothing but the private key. So we can get the private key from that. So that is the first method. And we have multiple ways. And the second way is we can either create the new PEM file and we can connect the instance through that PEM file.
Okay. What is the difference between L4 and L7 load balancers?
L7 load balancers provide the more advanced traffic management capabilities compared to the L4 load balancers. They are not more complex and require the processing power, but they are also more flexible and can provide the better traffic management capabilities. Like we can use that e-commerce websites or content delivery networks. L4 load balancers are simpler and more effective, making them good choices for applications and do not require the advanced traffic management capabilities provided by the L7 load balancers.
Okay. What is NAT gateway?
So NAT gateway, we can simply call it as it is used for the VPCs, which is used to provide the internet facilities to our VPC. Like if you want to access any application, we need an internet, right? So NAT gateway will provide that facilities.
Internet gateway is there for that internet. What is the difference between internet gateway and NAT gateway?
So basically, this NAT gateway is useful tool for the providing internet access to the instances in any private subnet while maintaining the network securities and performance. But internet gateways that provides the instances to the public subnets.
Okay. Can we access one resource from one VPC to another resource in another VPC?
Yes, we can access. So we are using the VPC peering connectors.
Okay. What is NACL?
NACL, Network Access Control List. I think, sorry, I'm not sure about this thing.
Yeah, we have security groups and we have NACL. What is the difference between them?
So basically, security groups are used to provide the security to our instance, like what type of traffic comes in and what type of traffic goes out. So these can be defined by using the security groups.
NACL?
So NACL basically it is a VPC concept which we are using frequently used in this VPC. And so which we use it. Basically, I think it is a security purpose. We are using this for the securities for our VPCs, and it acts as a firewalls to controlling the traffic.
Okay.
One or more subnets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Mustafa. I'm
Thank you.
done from my end. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, thanks for asking me. So is there anything else that I want to improve my side?
Yeah, you're good. So you need to focus on the Jenkins pipeline stages. How can we trigger? Because we do write CI/CD jobs separately, so we should be able to trigger from one job to another job.
Yes.
And the important thing is Kubernetes manifest files. Kubernetes is playing very important role in the deployments nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can focus.
Yes, definitely I will improve.
Yeah, good. Anything else?
No, nothing from my side. I'm good.
Good. Thanks for your time. Nice talking to you. HR will get back to you on this.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.